Welcome to Physics 103. This is your instructor, Julia Nicholas. and In this video, we will cover everything that you need to know to get started with the course. In this video, I'm going to cover how to get in contact with me, your instructor, go over what is Physics 103, some important dates for the term, the course layout and Canvas, go over a few of the main things from the course syllabus, text, and an overview of assignments and grading, and also go over how to succeed in an online course. So this is me, your instructor, Julia Nicholas. My email is juliamnicholas@faculty.klamathcc.edu. Please see the syllabus or the Contact Me extra credit link under modules for my phone number. Before we get started, I'd like to go over some of the questions that I get asked a lot by students who are signing up for Physics 103, and especially if you haven't taken Physics 101 and 102. And so I'd like to go over some of those questions and answers here first. Question I get asked a lot is this course part of a series, and do I need to have taken the other courses? And the answer is yes. There was a Physics 101 and Physics 102, but you do not need to have had those courses to be successful in Physics 103. And next, what exactly is Physics 103? So Physics 103 is a conceptual course, and that means we will focus on the ideas behind each topic rather than on extensive mathematics. So the formulas we use are fairly simple compared to the other physics that's offered on campus. So we will focus more on the ideas. We will do some math, but not a lot of math and not very complicated math compared to the other physics. Another question I get asked a lot is I'm not good at or I don't like math or science. Will I do okay in the course? And most of my students have enjoyed the class and the topics, even if they didn't like math or science. You'll still need to make sure you keep up on the homework, on the reading to be successful, but you don't have to be a math genius to succeed. You will need some basic math, but I've found most people have been able to be successful with that part. Next, let's look at Canvas, and Canvas is the name of the site where all of your course information is located. If you log into Canvas, it will most likely take you to this screen here, which is called your dashboard. And this is where you'll go to find and submit all of your assignments and tests, as well as view all of your grades and course email. You'll probably see this screen when you log in. Again, this is called your dashboard, but there are also links to this you can click. Essentially is going to have what's in your dashboard, a list of your courses that you're taking. It also has a calendar link, which is great. It has assignments for all your online courses, and then an inbox where you can go to submit emails to your instructor or anyone in the course. So we'll go over those, each of those now. Before I move on, one more thing actually. If you see this icon here, this is the announcements icon, and if you see a number here, that means there are announcements that you have not checked yet. So if you see a number next to that announcement, little microphone there, then please make sure you read those. That means there's something that I'm wanting to share with you regarding the course, and those are important to check out if they pop up there. A few important dates for the term for the college, so you're aware of these. For spring term, the last day to drop a class for a full refund and the last day to add a class if you need to is Friday, April 5th, so this Friday. The last day to withdraw with a W is Friday, May 24th. So if you need to withdraw from any of your classes, that's the last day to do that and get a W. And if you are looking to enroll in summer or fall courses, the registration date for summer and fall quarters is May 6th. Okay, so at this point you're ready to get started with the course. The first thing that you're going to need for the course is the textbook Conceptual Physics by Paul Hewitt. I will be using the 12th edition in the course. If you find an older edition that you'd like to use, that's fine. Just check and make sure as you're doing the reading that the chapter titles match up. So I'm not sure in all the editions if the chapter number will go with the same chapter topic. So just make sure that the chapter topic matches up to the chapter topic that I list under the modules. So in each module, it'll say week 1 covers certain chapters and the topics of those chapters. So just make sure that you're reading the right topic. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask on what you should be reading for the week or what topic we're covering. So when you click on a course, so let's say that you've clicked on the physics course, you will see a list of different links here on the left. One of the main links that you'll go to in the course is this modules link, which has a weekly breakdown of all of your assignments. There's also a link in here to your announcements for the course. You can look at the KCC syllabus or the course syllabus, check out your grades, a list of assignments, and some other general useful features that you can find online here in these links. The main area that you'll be looking at to do all of your coursework is this modules link here on the left. And when you click on modules, it takes you to a weekly breakdown of all of your work for the course. The first module here on the top is the Start Here module, and that's where you found this video here that you're watching. The other two things that you'll need to do in this first week before you get started with your other coursework is to review the KCC institutional syllabus and then review the course syllabus for lecture and lab. And the course syllabus is located right here. When you have reviewed all of those things, you'll take the syllabus quiz. And this is important to do first for the course because it establishes your attendance for the course. So if you have not done this by Thursday of this week, then you will be dropped for non-attendance on Friday. So make sure that you get that done first. Below the Start Here link is a weekly breakdown, week by week, of all of your work for the course. So the heading for each week will tell you the chapters that we're going to be covering that week. And at the very top of each week, there's an objectives and introduction section. And in that, I'll let you know what your weekly breakdown of what you should be doing for the week and any other information that's helpful to you to getting your assignments done for the week. So you'll want to check that area out first. And then after you do that, you're ready to start your weekly activities, which are located in this area here. There's two different headings, one for lecture, one for lab. And anything under here contains assignments that go towards the lecture portion of the course, and things under lab contain things that go towards the lab portion of the course. Most weeks will start out with a weekly lecture. Sometimes there's a video, sometimes it's just slides, but usually you'll want to start with that and also start by reading the sections in your textbook that are assigned for the week. The homework will cover information from your textbook and from the lecture. And most weeks will have homework, and most weeks will have a discussion. So discussions have an initial post due Wednesday in a week when there's a discussion, and then 2 replies due on Sunday. After the week 1 discussion is just to introduce yourself, but after that we'll be having more formal discussions, and there are instructions on how exactly to do your discussion post to receive full credit. But your initial post should be at least 300 words and have a valid citation with each posting. And I will again cover that in the week 2 discussion, the details on that. So lecture tests are based off of the weekly homework. There are no tests in lab, and the lab, you'll usually have a lab activity each week, and some weeks instead of a lab activity you'll be doing a lab report on the previous week's activity. And there's no lab during finals week, so there are lab activities during weeks 1 through 10, and then that is the end of your lab work. At the bottom here of week 1, you'll notice this link here that says lab supply list. So if you're curious what you're going to need for the labs, click on that link there and see what materials you'll need for the various labs. Hopefully a lot of these items you can find around the house, and some of the items if you need to purchase them, make sure you take a look at that list before the lab is actually due so you have time to gather those supplies that you need. So plan ahead each week to make sure that you have the lab supplies you need. Grades is another link here on the left. So we were just in modules, which didn't show up, but it's up here. If you click on grades, you'll see a breakdown of all of your different assignments for the course. If there's a score here, that means it's something you've been submitted, that you have submitted and have been graded on. And at the very bottom is a total. So if you're in the lecture link, it'll show your total for the lecture assignment. And just keep a look at that as you go throughout the quarter, making sure that your grades look accurate and that what you have submitted you have received a grade for. The breakdown that I use for grades is this right here. So 90 to 100% an A, 80 to 89 a B, 70 to 79% C, and so on. Remember that you will receive a separate lecture and lab grade, so you'll want to keep checking your lecture and lab grades throughout the quarter. So this term, your lowest lecture and lab grade are going to automatically be dropped. So this means you can either skip one assignment and just not do it, one assignment or test or lab with no penalty, or if you do poorly on an assignment or test, that score will automatically be dropped. So you get to skip or automatically drop one low score for lecture and one low score for lab. You can't drop the final as your low score. That is not a score that can be dropped. So you do have to take the final, but anything else in the course that you'd like to drop, it will just automatically be dropped. And a note on late assignments from the syllabus. Normally late assignments will be reduced by 10%. If you are having technical difficulties, however, please let me know. And if you let me know about that, then I won't grade your assignments as late. So for example, your internet's working or computer crashes, something like that. Also, if you have a valid reason for your work being late, such as an illness or other emergency, please let me know and we will try to work around your work not being late if there is some other valid reason. So the main thing is just to keep in contact with me if something's going on and keeping you from preventing you from doing your work on time. Okay, your lab grade, you will receive a separate grade from the lecture. So again, please make sure you're checking your grades in each the lab and lecture section often. I'd really like to be perfect and have your grades always perfect, but errors do happen. So if you see anything that doesn't look right, one of your assignments doesn't get graded or grade gets entered that doesn't look right, don't panic. Let me know as soon as possible and we will work to get your grade fixed and make sure it's correct. Assignments is somewhat similar to the grades link. It has a list of all the assignments for the course, but it also has the due dates on this link. So if you click, over here on the left on assignments, it'll show you a list of all the assignments for the quarter and their due date and how many points they're worth. I personally like to have a list of everything that I need to do and what's coming up, and so something like this would be helpful for me. In this format, if you just would like an overall checklist of what you need to do for the whole quarter, again, you'll see all of these assignments under modules, but this will just give you a list of everything for the quarter. And this is one way to take a look at everything that's due for the course. The other way is through the calendar link, and that shows a monthly format of everything due. We'll go over that in just a minute. So here's the calendar, and if you click, this is on the very left on the red links, if you click the calendar button here, it takes you out of the course and takes you to a calendar where you can view assignments for any of your online courses. If you were to click on these buttons here, it would make the assignments for that course show up on your calendar. If you unclick them, it will make those assignments go away from your calendar. So you can choose to only look at assignments for a certain course or to look at assignments for all of your course. So it's your choice on what you want to view on the calendar. If you click on this arrow here, it will take you to the next month, so you can scan through any of the months and all the assignments you have due. If you, from this point, want to go back to the class, you could hit the back arrow button to get back to the course, but the other way would be to click on the dashboard or courses link and reselect the course. Below the calendar button is the inbox link, and when you click on that, you'll go to the email system through Canvas, and in this section here would be a list of any emails that you have sent or received, and this feather button here, actually this will just show you, you can choose to select if you want to see your inbox or your sent box, and that would show up here. If you want to compose a new email, you would click this feather button here, and you could choose to send an email to any one of your instructors that are using Canvas. For this course, email of course is just fine. I tend to check the email system about once a day, so depending on when you send the email to me, you may not get a reply for a day or two later. I will try to get to those as soon as possible, but it tends to take a day or two for me to see and reply to your email. If you are wanting a fast reply, you're working on an assignment and have a question you would like to get answered quickly, text messages are the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me. And I'll go over a little bit later where to find my phone number to send me text messages. If you can't do that, of course, emails are just fine. It is quicker to send text messages if you were able to do that. So again, you can send me emails through that inbox link in Canvas, and I will try to get back to them as soon as possible. Again, if you're working an assignment and want a very quick reply, the quickest way to get in touch with me is to send me a text message. And this is actually an option for extra credit under modules. The very top under Start Here, I have a Contact Me link for extra credit, and you can receive 10 points of extra credit. You'll click on this link. It has my phone number there. Send me a text message letting me know your name and the course that you're in, and then you'll receive extra credit for doing that. I think it's nice at the beginning just to send me a text message so that you have it in your phone. Easy, my phone number, easy to find if you ever have any questions. Students often ask what is an appropriate time to send texts. I generally am awake between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. Don't feel bad about sending me a text at any time. If I'm not awake, I just won't reply. But whenever I am awake, it's what I'm here for, and I'm more than happy to help. I think it's best for the student and for myself if we get in touch quickly and get your questions answered quickly rather than taking days to wait for emails to be seen and go back and forth. So if you are able to send a text message, again, don't feel bad about sending it. I'm more than happy to help you. And a lot of my students who do really well in the course do send me questions throughout the term asking for help. And I think it makes things go more smoothly and easier on your end if you're able to ask questions when you need to ask them. So again, you can find my phone number here in this Contact Me link, or I also have my phone number in the syllabus, near the top of the syllabus, if you click on the syllabus link here. So last up here are my tips for how to succeed in an online course. And the first thing that I would recommend at this point in the course is to start the quarter right. So in this course and any of your other courses, go into the course, check out the syllabus, check out all the assignments that you'll need to be doing, get your textbook, your lab supplies, any other things you need for your courses to get started so that right from the beginning you're ready to do your assignments and you know what you need to do so you don't get behind in this first week. Next would be reviewing the calendar each week. This helps you keep track of what you need to do, make sure that you're not missing an assignment for any of your courses. And by reviewing the calendar each week, kind of keeps you focused on making sure you're working on the assignments that you need to work on and looking ahead to what's going to be coming up. Next, I'd say make sure that you have a dedicated place and time to do your work. There are certain, I know all of us have different situations, but there are definitely situations when you have distracting noises, other family members that make it hard to get work done. So if it's possible to do your work in the place where you can best focus and at a time when you are best able to focus on getting your work done. You know, for myself, if I try to work with my kids around, I'm really unproductive. If I can get a few minutes to sneak away, I can get done in a few minutes what might have taken me an hour to do with all the chaos around me. So if it's possible to find that quieter place to work, that can really help be a time saver for you. Next is achieving a family, work, school, depending on what's going on in your life, balance. And by this, I mean, we all have different commitments that we need to meet, and it's not realistic to expect that school will be our only priority, especially on the online world, but we do have to work on trying to balance school with the other things that we need to do. So try to plan out as you look ahead to the quarter, planning when you're going to get your schoolwork done, when you're going to spend the time you need to with work or with family, and just juggling your schedules and trying to come up with a realistic plan of getting everything done that you need to get done and not thinking that you're going to get all your schoolwork done for 3, 4, 5 classes in an hour once a week. So being realistic with your time for all of your different commitments. One of the other really big things to being successful is just staying on schedule. So if you have certain things you need to get done for the week, making sure you get those things done. When you get behind, it gets really hard to catch up because you have current week's work and then past work that's due, and it can become really overwhelming. So if it's possible, try each week to get the assignments done that need to get done and not let them start piling up on you. Next, I'd say, excuse me, stay motivated. So there comes a certain point, I know for myself in the quarter, when I get really burned out and it's hard to keep moving forward with everything I need to get done. And I know when I was a student, it was the same way. Different people, I think, find that at different times that they can really push through and get things done, and other times in the quarter are really hard to stay focused. So whenever that happens, that you're feeling like it's hard to keep up on what you need to get done, remind yourself it's only a certain number of weeks. Try to make a plan of what you're going to get done each week to finish off the course, and try to keep up that motivation. Know that it won't be forever, and you will be done with course and with school before you know it. So just keeping up that motivation throughout the quarter. Next, I'd say participate. So if you get engaged in the class, you participate in discussions, ask questions, get help when you need to. It really all does make the course easier. Talking with other students about questions, about difficulties, and as I mentioned, getting help when you need help just makes the course much easier than trying to struggle through it by yourself if you're struggling on something. Next, look for study partners. So if there's anyone in the course that wants to work together with you on an assignment and you can work together and help each other out, that would be great. When you submit your assignments, what I'm looking for on my end is that you do the write-ups on your own, but you can certainly, if you have someone you want to do labs with or any other activities with, you can do the activities together. So you could have the same data, for example, for a lab, but then write up the questions to the lab questions in your own words, each of you, so don't each turn in the same assignment. And my last tip would be is if there's a week when you were able to work ahead in any of your courses, try to do that. So try to work ahead a little bit, and that way it'll lessen up the load and the pressure later on in a week when maybe you have a lot going on. So if you're able to work ahead, feel free, at least in this course, to do that. It's whatever's available, you're welcome to work ahead on. And so those are my tips. And as I think I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest things is just if you're struggling on something, don't sit and just struggle. If you're spending more than 10 minutes or so trying to figure something out, please feel free to send me an email or text message and ask for help, and probably can get you that help quickly so you're not sitting trying to figure something out on your own for hours and hours. So ask for help whenever you need it. I am more than happy to help. That's the end of our getting started with the course tutorial. So good luck in the course, and please don't hesitate to contact me at any time with any questions as you get started.